In this video, I'm going to show you how to calibrate a 50-year-old sound level meter. This is my Bruel Kjaer Type 2209 that I bought secondhand and I just got a couple of days ago. And now we're going to see how well it works actually. And then I have this, it's a reference sound source, an sonic sound calibrator. It's, what's it called? NOR 1256. So this is a really nice modern one, and it's recently calibrated in 2022, so we know that this is correct. And what this one does is that it's got a little, you see display here, 1000 hertz, 1 kilohertz, and you can probably hear it. So this one creates a sound that is exactly 94.0 decibels, and that means then we can also actually change the level to 114 or 94. And this one is a bit fun because it's also can also do 250. With two different levels, but the usual one that you'll see it's 1000 hertz, 1 kilohertz at either 114 or 94 decibels. Doesn't really matter, but anyways, let's check this one out. We'll put this one on top of this microphone, and this is a standard size, so it's been around for ages, literally. And then the batteries in this guy, when I got it, they expired in the year 2000, 22 years ago, and that means that this probably been lying around for quite some time, this old beast. So let's see how well it works now. So what we do here, then first we flick the switch. Now it's awakened, the battery check. They're really new and fresh batteries, so it should be full. I guess that's what it means. I haven't even read the manual now, so I'm just winging it, you know. But I think we can manage anyways. So now first we can check here, what time constant do we want? Fast, slow, or impulse? We go for fast because that's the one that you usually want to use. And then if you turn this knob, now we're sending in 94 decibels here. Then if you can see, if I go here to 80, then the scale is, the 0 means 80, 80 to 90, but we're going 94, so we get overload here. It's too high. So, and it's going to be the same if we go even lower here on the setting. Now it's even blinking, warning, overload output. That's a bit strange. I have to check out what that means. Actually, this one should be lighting up now. It doesn't. Maybe it's broken. That's a bit sad, but we can see that it's working. So when I put it at 90, we got 90 on the 0, 90 to 100, and this one is going for 94. And the meter shows 94.5. So it's pretty close. Pretty close for such an ancient device. So now all we have to do is calibrate it a little bit here. And the way you do it with these guys is that you have a... Oh, no, that won't work. We go here instead. A screwdriver. Tiny little screwdriver. And then there's this gain adjustment potentiometer. And I would guess that it's just as simple as pi. We just put this little screw in here, and then we turn carefully and adjust this one until we get the correct reading on the display. So I'll try to go counterclockwise now. We'll see what happens. Carefully. This one hasn't been turned in quite some time, I guess, so it's a bit shaky, I can see. But you see, now we're at 94. It's pretty dead center. Perhaps a little bit. That means on how OCD should you get with these things. Personally, I'm quite obsessed to make... I want things to be correct. It's just... It gives a good feeling inside me. So let's see if we can get it to be... Almost, it's falling a bit. It's not that completely steady. Let's try again. Oh well, maybe this is as close as we can get. Turn it a little bit lower. Come on. Oh yeah, this is perhaps it. Now it reads 90, So it's correct. And if we go to 100, we get it's below. Actually, this scale is a bit interesting because I said you got 10 dB's dynamic range, but actually we got from -10 to 10. And if we read this one now carefully, it says, yeah, it still reads 94. So actually you got 20 dB's of dynamic range on this one. Not bad, but it's a lot harder to see what's going on in the lower part of the scale. So it's better to go to set the reference at 90 and get 94 there, because now it's more clear. That's right. And then another thing that I forgot to mention, but it's not a problem, because this is here you can select the frequency weighting network, and it was set at dBA. And the good thing with calibrating at 1000 Hertz is that you have the same weighting on all these settings. But if we instead go for 250 Hertz here, you'll see what's happened. If you go for A weighting, it behaves a bit strange. But if you go to linear weighting, no weighting at all, it should still read 94. Which it almost does. It's a little bit too high still. So maybe I can fine-tune this one after the video and see if I can get it a little bit better to check this out. Let's see if we increase the decibel rating. We can keep it at linear, I think. Now it's 114, and this one is overloading. So let's put it at 100, still overload. 110, it should read 110, 114. Yes, it's correct. And if you change the frequency again, 1000 Hertz, 114, it's still right. Now we can also try the filter, play around with that one a little bit. So here you have the external filter module here. Weighting switch, I don't know what that one does. I have to read up on that one. But here you have octave bands, and we're going for, we have 1000 Hertz reference, and then we switch this one to external filter. Now we're running it through this one, and we're at 1000 Hertz filter. It reads 94. So what happens if we go down to anything else, then it's a sinusoidal tone here in the reference source. So you see, we get nothing, which we should. This is correct. So the filter module works perfectly, and when we go to 1000, we get 114, and same goes up here. So if we switch this one to 250, same thing happens. No, nothing. Even if we reduce this one, we shouldn't get any. Yeah, we get something there. It might be some background noise or something. I don't know. Internal noise from the machine. Let's go for 114, and then we switch the filter down to 250. Yes. So now we're filtering at 250, and we can still read this one. And we go to 94. So now we basically tried all the settings on the reference source, and the filter module works perfectly. But we can just go back to dBA and 1000. Usually the calibrators don't have this. The ones I've used previously, I don't think they had this feature with the selectable frequency. Usually it's only 1000 Hertz. So, well, it seems to be a little bit variation on the. It's not entirely stable. It's a little bit too high now. It's 94.3-ish. But if you go for 1000 Hertz, it's a little bit over. When I touch it, it behaves also a bit strangely. So, yeah. But anyways, it's cut it some slack. It's from the 70s, so it's still it's so wonderful. But now we know that it's measuring correctly also. So this can be used for a real measurement now because it's calibrated, and we tried it with a reference sound source, and now we can use this one as a backup in the field should the modern Norsonic fail. I just have to put this one up for scale. It's so amazing because this device here is as I wrote in a little blog post the other day, this is like a Tesla Model S fully spec'd. And this is more like a classic American muscle car, like a Stingray or something like that. And if you're an acoustician, playing around with this one is the equivalent of going around on a cruise on an old American muscle car. And if you ever driven American muscle cars, you know what I'm talking about. It's they can do stuff that a modern Tesla Model S cannot do. But the one that I know which one I would rather use as a daily driver, because this one is amazing. This little device, it can do so much. But the main fascinating difference here, I would say, is that when you do measurements with this one, you have to you have to measure every frequency band one at a time, and it's gonna take a lot of time and a lot of measurements. Whereas with this one, with the modern device, you just measure everything in parallel, so you get everything at once. So it's a huge difference. So, anyways, now you have a little crash course on how to calibrate a sound level meter, and it's super easy with this. It's mechanical, just a screwdriver, and you're done. So, if you just got a reference sound source, pretty much anyone can do it, if you're just a little bit careful. So, and in today's video, I'm wearing one of my favorite gray window pane jackets with a little orange pocket square. And here's a nice little detail. It's blue here and the blue in the shirt. It gives a nice harmony when you pick it up like this. But you got some other color that also gives a little bit of flair. So, see you later.